All right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Boogie Down Bronx, Queens, all the way to Staten Island, my homeborough, Brooklyn. Back out with another video. And last week, I announced to commemorate the 50th anniversary of hip hop, I'm going to be doing 5 top 10 lists. Last week, I did top 10 greatest rap producers. This week, I'm doing my top 10 greatest rap songs. The songs I think, changed the hip hop genre and had a huge impact on the genre. Of course, released by some of the greatest rappers and rap duos / groups of all time. And some of these were produced by some of the greatest producers of all time, by the way. And we're starting at number 10. Cash Rules Everything Around Me, or Cream, by the Wu-Tang Clan. It was on their legendary debut album, Enter the Wu-Tang, the 36 Chambers. It includes verses from Raekwon the Chef and Inspector Deck, the two best lyricists in the Wu-Tang Clan, in my opinion. That may be controversial. That's perfectly fine. And, of course, a classic hook from Method Man, Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times side, staying alive with no job. At second hand, moms bounced on old man. So then we moved to Shaolin Land. Of course, I don't want to rap the whole thing, so I don't want to get copyrighted. So I'm just going to do a part of the song and then move on to the next one. But like I said, this is probably Wu-Tang's signature song. I know some people may say Protect Your Neck is, but and that was a great song. That is a great song. I believe that was their first single that they ever released. But this song right here, to me, it's classic Wu-Tang. Great verses from Ray and Inspector. Great production by RZA. This was a great song on a great album that kicked off the East Coast Renaissance. If you're a hip hop head, you know what I'm talking about. But that's number 10. Number 9, Jesus Walks by Kanye West. This song was released in 2004. It was off Kanye's debut album, The College Dropout. And this song was, very controversial at the time because, of course, it was related to Jesus Christ. And Kanye depicted himself as Jesus. He had a crown of thorns on his head, being crucified, so on and so forth. Anything related to that, related to Jesus, is going to be controversial, particularly back then, back 19 years ago. But great production from Kanye. Look, like I said, Kanye's, he's not the best, bar for bar, the best rapper in the world. He's not like a Rakim or a Nas or a Three Stacks, but he's good enough. And he's such a great producer. He makes such great beats. You kind of forgive and he's an above average rapper. You can kind of forgive that fact that he's not like a Nas or a Slick Rick or a KRS-One or someone like that. But great song and a great album, by the way. As I said, Kanye is one of the greatest of all time. I think, because of some of his comments and antics over the last, decade and change, that's kind of being forgotten. But I'll never forget. I'll never forget how great Kanye West was. And this is one of the greatest songs of all time. Number 9. Number 8, Juicy by the Notorious B.I.G. Of course, this is off his legendary debut album, Ready to Die. And this is probably Big's signature song. I mean, we think of Big, this, Big Papa, and Hypnotize are probably his 3 most famous songs. And that's saying a lot. But, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Saw Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. You know very well who you are. Don't let them hold you down. Reach for the stars, that typical bad boy sound. R&B beats, R&B influenced hip hop beats, and smooth lyricism, smooth laid back flows. Just a great song and an iconic video, by the way. You see the bad boy basketball jersey would still get sold today. I have one. I might do. I was considering doing a top 10 greatest rap music videos of all time, and if I did, this would definitely be on it, probably in the top 5. I don't know. I have to sit and think about that. But if you want to see me do a top 10 greatest rap music videos, then tell me in the comment section down below. If I see enough comments asking me for it, then I'll do it. But like I said, this is arguably Big's signature song and a great video. And Big did his thing on this. Birthdays was the worst days. Now we sip champagne when we thirsty. R.I.P. Big. Frank White. Next up, None But a G-Thing by Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Doggy Dogg. Another iconic rap track from the 90s. This song and Dr. Dre's The Chronic album helped put West Coast rap on the map mainstream-wise and push gangster rap into the mainstream back in the 90s. 1, 2, 3 or to the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door. Snoop rapped on the opening verse. And a great beat, by the way. Like I said, nothing but a G thing. I mean, it's one of the most popular songs of the 90s, regardless of genre. I saw a list. One time. It was some data or some type of shit like that. Like most streamed songs from the 90s. I think this was like in the top 20. Like the most streamed songs in the 90s, regardless of genre. I was like, damn, really? Great song. Of course, look, Dre's not, we all know Dre's not, I mean, he has great writers, you know. He has great writers, you know, the DOC, you know, Eminem, you know, Jay-Z's wrote for him, allegedly Nas wrote for him, Snoop, of course, you know. Dre has great writers. Dre has great writers for him. And Snoop did his thing as well. Next up, My Mind Playing Tricks on Me by the Ghetto Boys. One of the most underrated and secretly influential rap groups of all time, particularly in the southern hip-hop scene. Scarface, Willie D, and Bushwick Bill. R.I.P. Bushwick Bill. Some say take a chill, B, but fuck that shit. There's a nigga trying to kill me. I'm popping clips when the wind blows. Every 20 seconds got me peeping out the windows. Investigating the joint for traps. Checking my telephone for taps. It's fucked up when your mind's playing tricks on you. Dun 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 dun. Scarface rapped on that track. And Willie D. Now, Scarface, like I said, Scarface is one of the greatest and most underrated rappers of all time, and arguably the best lyricist come out of the South, you know. To me, it's between him and 3 Stacks. But yeah, a lot of Southern rappers, you know, UGK, Outkast, were influenced by the Ghetto Boys. A lot of rappers in general, Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z, Eminem. A lot of rappers, regardless, West Coast, Midwest, East Coast, Dirty South, were influenced by Scarface and the Ghetto Boys. And as Tupac once said, Scarface is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. My Mom Playing Tricks on Me. I've seen people say this is the greatest rap song ever. It's definitely got a case. All these songs have a case for greatest rap songs ever, to be honest with you. But only one can be one. But yeah, next up, Fuck the Police by NWA. Now, this may be a controversial addition. You know, some say, nah, Straight Outta Compton, that's their best song. Well, listen, I'm picking Fuck the Police because of the impact it's had. Not that Straight Outta Compton didn't have any impact, but every time a black man is killed by the police, this song becomes one of the most streamed songs in the world. Like seriously, when George Floyd got killed, this song was popular again. Literally every time. Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. Ice Cube said. Ice Cube, MC Ren, and Easy all rapped on it. And of course, Dre produced it. NWA, one of the greatest groups of all time, most influential groups of all time. And of course, we all know that the FBI sent them a letter over this. They were arrested for performing the song in Detroit. But just because of the impact it's had to this day, 35 years later, 35 years after its release, it's got to make the list. Okay? And this may sound bad, but if another incident happens where a black man is killed by the police, watch this song become very popular again. Literally every time. Never fails. I'm not trying to make light of that situation because that's a horrible thing, but it happens every time. You see this? Every time. Next up, Dead Presidents 2 by Jay-Z. This is the song that kind of put Jay-Z on the map. Well, that and Hawaiian Sophie, but you know what? That's another, you know, let's not go there. But Dead Presidents put Jay-Z on the map as a solo artist. You know, before this, Jay-Z was known as one of those hibbity, hobbity, fast-paced, lyrical miracle rappers. On this, he kind of slowed it down, laid back. His flow was smooth. Of course, that's the Nas influence, but that's a whole nother conversation. Here he is on the video. Of course, Dead Presidents 2 was the lead single from his debut album, Reasonable Doubt, which is one of the greatest debut albums of all time. It was part of the East Coast Renaissance, and it helped mafioso rap become popular. This, only built for Cuban links, and it was written, helped popularize mafioso rap. And Jay-Z said, can't stop I from drinking my ties with Tata down in Nevada. Ha ha, papa, word life. I dabbled in crazy weight. Without rap, I was crazy straight. Partner, I'm still spending money from 88 presidents to represent me. Said what? And this song was, you know, of course, one of the reasons why Jay-Z and Nas had issues. But, you know, that, again, that's a whole nother conversation. Next up, Who Shot Ya by the Notorious B.I.G. And now this might be a controversial addition. Like, this isn't a top 10 rap song. B, it's a great song, but it's not top 10, son. What are you talking about? You bugging. This is, to me, this is my personal favorite Biggie song, and I think this is one of the greatest rap songs of all time. I mean, who shot ya? Separate the weak from the obsolete. Hard to creep the Brooklyn street. It's on, nigga. Fuck all that bickering beef. I can hear sweat trickling down your cheek. Your heartbeat sound like Sasquatch feet. Thundering, shaking the concrete. Then the shit stopped when I foiled the pot. Neighbors called the cops because they heard mad shots. Nas is on record saying that after he heard the song, he wanted to quit. Jay-Z said the same thing. When he heard these lyrics, he said his mind was blown, and he said, you know what, maybe this rap thing ain't for me. Of course, this was one of the things that led to Biggie and Tupac's beef. And of course, we all know Pac was shot at Quad City Studios in New York in '94. He thought Big and Puff set him up. And then while he was in jail for rape, this song was released, and Pac thought it was a sub at him, and that led to a whole nother issue. Next up, I Gave You Power by Nas. One of the most influential rap songs of all time. Nas, this really showed Nas' creativity and his genius. Okay, Nas told a story from the perspective of a gun, something I don't think had ever been done before prior. And this influenced Tupac to make songs like Me and My Girlfriend, influenced Jay-Z to make '03 Bonnie and Clyde. This song was just, and the hook, I gave you power, made you buck wild. How you like me now? I go blouse, that shit that moves crowds, making every gutter foul. I might have scarred your first life, I might have took your first child, scarred your life, crippled your style. I made you buck wild. Always I miss some shit. That my abdomen is the clip, the barrel's my dick, uncircumcised. Pull my skin back and cock me. I bust off when they unlock me. Nas did his thing on this song. One of the most influential rap songs of all time. Man, just give it a listen. If you never heard it, go give it a listen. And if you know hip hop, you know when I say this true. But like I said, there can only be one. And in my opinion, the greatest rap song of all time is Shook Ones Part 2 by Mobb Deep. If you've been on my channel long enough, you've heard me say it before. Shook Ones Part 2 is the greatest rap song I've ever heard. There was not one bad bar in the song. Not from Prodigy, not from Havoc. The intro, the beginning of the song is iconic. The beat's been freestyled over millions of times, including in 8 Mile by Eminem. Now, it's just one of the greatest songs ever. I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers, the mob comes in quick, we warfare, beware. Son, they shook, cause there ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Scared to death, you're scared to look. They shook, cause there ain't no such things as halfway crooks. Scared to death, scared to look. See Prodigy rapping, R.I.P. Prodigy, by the way, with a Hennessy shirt on. Like I said, not one whack bar, great production. The video is iconic. The intro is just fire right out the gate. I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers. Just straight heat. Straight heat. But again, to me, this is the greatest rap song of all time. You're welcome to respectfully disagree in the comment section down below. Tell me what you think. Give me your top 10 list in the comment section. And next week, we're going to be doing the top 10 greatest rap albums of all time. So stay tuned until then. I'm going to see you all.